watch and burn.
Hey everyone. So tonight I want to discuss the 2014 found footage film Mockingbird. And I know the found footage thing tends to split people. At this point, you either love it, or you like it but you're sick of it, or you've hated it from the jump way back when with the Blair Witch. It's really hard to say. It seems that people are split into those three camps. Personally, I love found footage. I love how authentic it always feels. I mean, when it's done right, at least. I've seen some horrible found footage movies as well. But with movies like this, and like, I don't know, The Blair Witch, and Dashcam, off the top of my head. And then movies like The Den, which I know technically The Den isn't really found footage, it's more like screen life. But I still like the idea that, well, no, in a sense, The Den was found footage. I know it was more screen life than it was found footage, but no, The Den was fucking found footage. But yeah, so tonight we're talking about Mockingbird. And what this is about is a group of antagonists who remain completely unknown till the end of the film. They fucking destroy two single people and parents. There's a set of parents with their kids who are stalked while at home. There's a woman who's by herself. She's being stalked while home alone. And there, unfortunately, is a really, really cool guy who seems a little lost. And he thinks that he won some kind of contest and it's going to win him a bunch of money and he gets to dress up like a clown. And so he's really the only one that doesn't sort of see the downside of what's happening here. Because the clown goes around sort of seeing through all these tasks that have been set up for them by the movie's antagonists. He's got to go into a woman's bathroom and do this and that, and he has to like run around, he's got to get kicked in the balls and things like that. And all the while, the parents with their kids are being terrorized, and the woman who's left alone is being completely terrorized. The clown is off having the time of his life, while the other victims are not. And I love how the movie was broken into segments. Like it'll say, you know, surprise and balloons and other random shit will just come up, and then that will be sort of, like I said, like the new chunk or whatever. They're not exactly important as far as the movie's flow, and of course as far as the plot's concerned. I just liked how the word surprise would pop up on the screen, or goodbye at the end. And I liked how bright this movie was, and I liked how you had no idea why this was happening. And you think that this is going to sort of, you're going to get an answer at the end, and this is all going to sort of conclude with some sort of catharsis there where you can walk away feeling cleaner about this whole thing. But no. What happens is the parents and the woman who is alone, as well as the clown, they all end up in the same house at the end after having everything turned upside down on them. And of course, they're all armed because, of course, this was, of course, again, part of the antagonist's design. And they end up in this house that is filled with so many red balloons that this is something that, like, it's almost like, in a way, it's something, I don't know, it's just so, all the balloons are so demanding, like, they take up all the space in the house, and you're so lost because of them. As us, like the viewers at home, we feel that sense of claustrophobia that the characters must have felt because the balloons are everywhere. And whereas on one hand, I thought the balloons were brilliant, and I absolutely loved how they did sort of bring in that swallowing sense of suffocation. And visually, it's a really stunning and aesthetically pleasing thing to do. But setting those up must have sucked because they're all helium balloons. There's a fucking billion of them. And then popping them afterwards must have been a nightmare too. We've all been in that boat. So, I don't know, I can't say enough good things about this movie. I think my absolute favorite thing, without, well, sort of giving everything away now, is the antagonists turn out to be a handful of kids who aren't older than 13. It ends with them saying, like, are they dead? And they're like, yep. And then the movie says goodbye. And you never really figure out why the kids chose these people, why they destroyed them the way they did, and why they set them up into this sort of handgun impasse at the end, the three-way standoff. And it's never made, they don't even make any attempt to clarify why these kids are doing what they've done. They're just mean little bastards. I mean, it is a little crazy when you think about it. How are kids getting up on somebody's roof? Where'd the kids get the money for the balloons and the guns? You know, how'd they set up the cameras? How did they get them to each person's house? And that's why you have to remember that this is a work of fiction. I thought it was fun. I thought it was inventive that it was children who were sort of causing all of this to happen. I loved the balloons. I loved how bright this movie was. I loved how scary this movie was. And I loved how, most importantly, I believed the victims. So I think I will leave it there because the wind is picking up. Smoky as fuck out too. It's like June 27th or 28th, 2023, and we have the winds, the smoke from the wildfires up in northern Ontario blowing down our way now. Kind of smoky out here. But look, I'm gonna go. So like always, if you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But please, most importantly, do not forget that the world is a better place because you are in it. Have a good night.